Hello and welcome to Fantasy Premier League, the D and its journey. Today we are talking differentials for game week 9. Based on the fixtures, based on the upcoming fixture runs. They're very different to last week's ones. And look, one of the blokes that's going to be in there that I'm going to be talking about is Chris Woody Woodpecker, who saved my game week. He actually brought me from what was a big down arrow from 87,000 or about 130,000. His 7 points overnight has taken me back up to 100,189. So without further ado, let's get into this week's version of differentials. This is going to help you boost your game rank, get in there. Last week I pulled out some absolute beauties. This week, hopefully I'm going to pull out some more. Let's get into it. All right, so slight technical delay there. I'm not sure what happened, but here we go. So this is my team at the moment. So we're going to go to the transfers tab and I'm just going to show you what's going on pretty much. Let's go there. We're going to go transfers. All right. So the first differentials I want to talk about are the goalkeepers. So there are 2 goalkeepers this week I think you should be considering as differentials with potentially really good fixture runs coming up. The first one is at the top of the list. He's actually scored now the most points by a goalkeeper this season. Andre Onana from Manchester United. I can't believe I'm recommending a Manchester United player, but he's owned by only 7% of the competition. And look, he scored 41 points. He has kept 4 clean sheets in 8 games, which is pretty damn good. It's above the average because let's face it, clean sheets have not been easy to come by. And the reason why I'm recommending him is the next 5 game weeks, I think he can keep 3 clean sheets in there. So look, he's got West Ham away this week and they looked horrible against Tottenham, particularly in the second half. They don't look like they've got that much goal threat outside of Jared Bowen. And Manchester United could go there and keep a shutout. And then you would almost back them in. Chelsea at home, they might concede, but then Leicester at home, Ipswich away, Everton at home. I think they can keep 3 clean sheets in those games. It could be 4 clean sheets in the next 5. Andre Onana is a player I would definitely be targeting if you are looking to bring in a goalkeeper that's going to keep you some decent points. Now, the next one that I want to talk about in the goalkeepers is Jordan Pickford. He was here last week and he delivered. He got a clean sheet. He was one of the few goalkeepers that got a clean sheet. So he's now got 15 points and 6 points in his last 2 game weeks. Somehow he hasn't risen in price. He is up to 9.4% ownership, so he's just under 10% still. And look, the next 6 fixtures are still beautiful for Everton. Fulham at home, Southampton away, West Ham away, Brentford at home, Man United away, Wolves at home. He will keep at least 3 clean sheets out of the next 6. I would back him in for at least 4. So look, really, those are what you want. Clean sheets. David Raya has not cut it. The last 3 game weeks, and this is what I'm talking about with the fixture runs. Sometimes the fixture runs lie. Like, he was meant to have 3 easy weeks. He got no clean sheets in those 3 weeks. And now he's got 3 hard weeks. But I'm not making a transfer there because I'm not wildcarding and I just can't justify making another goalkeeper change. Now, into the defenders. Now, I don't actually own any of the defenders I really like the look of this particular game week. Now, the first one I want to go to here is, and this is one that's proving to be a very popular trade-in. Now, Guardiola looks like a good option for City, but Keane, the reason why I'm picking on these ones, he's still under 10% ownership. He's 7.8% ownership. He's only 4.1 million, and he is worth his weight in gold. As we have seen, defenders and goalkeepers are not keeping clean sheets. So I actually think that the best ploy here is to bring in players that aren't going to cost you that much money. He has an easy run of fixtures, as I've just talked about with Jordan Pickford. He's got the same teams. Again, I think you can lock him in for at least 4 out of those 6 potentially clean sheets. At 4.1 million, you can't go too far wrong with that. And I really like his run over the next 6 weeks. So again, he is my first defender that's on the thing. The next one again, Nori makes this list again for the 2nd week in a row. Now, this week, I believe, is the start of the good run of form. Now, Brighton away is not an easy game. I may not be backing him in to get a clean sheet in this game week, but he could get attacking returns. The only caveat I have on Nori, and the reason why I'm not bringing him this game week, he is on 4 yellow cards, which means that he's 1 yellow card away from missing a week. So I'm kind of hoping that he's going to get it against Brighton, miss a game, he comes in for me game week 11. That's the plan. But here's a great option, a great differential. Again, he's not owned by very many people. So if we pull up the thing, he's only owned by 3.4% of the comp. So again, a great differential there if you want to look at a bargain basement one. All the other defenders I'm not really too keen on with their runner fixtures. I wouldn't recommend them over just what I've already got. But those are the two in particular that I really like the look of. Now, if we go into the midfielders, and there's a few here. So Mo Salah obviously returned to form. You can't play chasing the premium that scores week in, week out. It could be Cole Palmer this week. I'm hoping it's Cole Palmer this week. Mo Salah's got Arsenal. I think there's better options this week. Now, Maddison, I called it right last week. He was a better pick than Johnson. Even though he only played a half, he did get that thing. However, this week, there are two Tottenham players that make this list again. They are not Maddison and they are not Johnson. The first one is Son Heung-min. I think I said that right. Might have said it wrong. He's only owned by 6.4% of the comp. This will likely go closer to 10% by the end of this game week after he delivered on his return with 8 points. He was unlucky to get the assist taken off him, which originally he was on 11, but he's on 8 now. And look, Tottenham's run over the next 3 weeks in particular, Crystal Palace away, Villa at home, Ipswich at home. You can back him in to probably deliver in all 3 of those game weeks. He's a great option. I'm looking at ways of maybe taking a -4 and trying to get him into my team, but that would involve either moving Trent Alexander-Arnold out or Ollie Watkins, and I'm not sold on either of those options at the moment, but he is definitely someone I'm looking at. However, if we go further down the list, we will find Bonawati. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name. Now, he is a 5 million rated midfielder. He's owned by 1.4% of the comp. Someone in our league actually bought him in this game week and had his score of 6 come onto the field. That's fantastic foresight. And look, if you've got Morgan Rogers and you want to try and make a 0.2 mil or whatever, he's done well. Over the last 3 game weeks, he's scored twice, got an assist, he's got a few bonus points in there. And earlier in the season, in game weeks 2 and 3, he got a goal and assist then as well. So look, there are points there, and he only costs 5 million. He's a great differential. I'm not sure how he's going to go against Nottingham Forest this game week at home, but it is at home. But then he's got Ipswich away, and if he's going to be sitting on your bench most of the time, you could probably exploit it and play him the weeks that he's got a good run. So look, he's a definite option there. He's not owned by many people. He's definitely someone I like the look of. Now, the other Tottenham player I want to talk about is Kulusevski. Now, I had him at the start of the season because I thought that he was going to be delivering what he has delivered twice in the last 3 weeks. Unfortunately, the time I owned him, he delivered once in 3 weeks, and it was 1 assist, and that's all I got. But he's back playing 90 minutes of football. He looks like the main man, and he definitely was the main man on the weekend against West Ham. He got a goal, he got some bonus points, and against Manchester United, obviously, he got a goal and some bonus points as well. I really like those next 3 fixtures for Tottenham with some 2 really good home games there, and obviously Palace away, who have looked pretty damn ordinary. He only cost you 6.2 now. He is actually someone I'm actively considering bringing back into my team. I can't believe I'm saying that, but his run of fixtures is fantastic. You could go far worse off than bringing him back into your team. Now, the other player I wanted to talk about as well is Alejandro Garnacho. Now, I've been off Manchester United assets, particularly attacking-wise, because we haven't been scoring goals. However, there were definite signs of life against Brentford, and they've got West Ham away, who looked poor. They've looked poor all season. They look like they're conceding goals. I actively think that he could be a fantastic option against them this game week. And Chelsea at home, look, Garnacho looks like he's got his place back in the lineup as well. The last 4 games he has started 90 minutes. His XG has increased. It's looking good. It's all trending in the right direction. He, again, has dropped 0.3 million in price. This could be the perfect time to bring him in. With that run of fixtures, as we've gone over, the Manchester United fixture run looks amazing. It's just a matter of whether they can be consistent enough to keep putting the ball in the back of the net, which, let's be honest, no one knows 100% sure whether that's going to keep on happening. But if it does, he's likely to be involved, as is Marcus Rashford. However, I prefer Garnacho because he is a lot cheaper than Rashford. I think Rashford's like a 0.6 million more, I think, from memory. Yeah, no, it's actually more. He's actually 6.9. Now, Rashford's only delivered in 2 game weeks out of 8, which is why I'm leaning off him. And that extra price point, the higher price point, just means that I think there are better options, even though they're both owned by very low amounts of people. So if they do pop off, you can make rank really quickly, which might be important after what has been a couple of really low scoring game weeks. Now, those are the midfielders I wanted to cover. Now, we're going to go to the forwards next. And there are a few forwards I want to talk about. So I had Liam Delap last week, but let's face it, wasn't very good. Now, Erling Haaland is causing a lot of people a few problems. And I've actually looked at his fixture run. And if it wasn't for Southampton this game week, where he's got him at home, I think I'd sell him. I've actively thought about it, and I think I'd sell him and bring him back for Nottingham Forest at home. So I'd get rid of him for the next 4 weeks after the Southampton game. I'd bring him back, and then I'd hold him until game week 23, and then I think I'd sell him again, and then bring him back game week 28 when they have a magical run to finish the season. I think you can go without Erling Haaland at points this season, and I think that's the moment where you can get rid of him, if that makes sense. And I think that we're going to see his ownership go down. So he's sitting on 73.5% ownership at the moment. I imagine that that's likely to go down, particularly after this game week. I would definitely not be getting rid of him against Southampton at home. They are deplorable, and the way they play, I think City will carve them up. This could be a 5-6-0. It's hard to look past Erling Haaland as captain against that Southampton team, and that fixture has been a fixture to target all season long. So in regards to that, I think he's a definite keep. But post that, I think you can get creative and try and bring in the extra asset. Maybe a Mo Salah comes back into your midfield and maybe a Son, and then you drop him to one of these alternative differentials that I'm about to talk about right now. So the first one is actually in my team, Chris Wood. Now, he has delivered in 5 game weeks out of 8. At 6 million at the start of the season, he has been unbelievably fantastic. And look, he's been great. Every time he scores, he gets at least 1 bonus point. And that's what you want. I mean, he's not scoring multiple goals in games, but if you're scoring 1 and you're getting 9 points or 8 points, or as in the case on this game week, 7 points, you're going to take that every day of the week for a player that's rated 6 mil. Well, he's now rated 6.3, I think. He's heading towards 6.4. It's insane. Yeah, he's up to 6.3. And his ownership is going up. So I know this is not really a differential because 13.5% of the comp actually owns him. However, he's brilliant. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's rescued my game week on so many occasions this season. He's been fantastic. What a differential he has been for me from the start. I'm so glad I got him. So well done, Chris Wood. Keep the wood pecking going and keep getting me some wood. All right, now the players I really wanted to talk about. Now, Raul Jimenez. He's up to 8% owned in the competition, and his fixtures over the next few weeks are delicious. So Everton away, Brentford at home, Crystal Palace away, and Wolves at home. He's just on some form at the moment. So he has scored in 4 of his last 5 games, and he got an assist in the other one. So he hasn't blanked in 5 weeks since he's come into the team from the start. That's insane. I don't think you can ignore that. At 5.7 mil, he's just an absolute bargain. And let's be honest, that's just dirt cheap. He's even cheaper than Chris Wood. And Chris Wood's been delivering Chris Wood's delivered more than him because he actually started the other games. But look, that's just unheard of. Well done, Raul Jimenez. I thought he was well past it. I thought Muniz was going to be the man, but apparently, Muniz, you aren't the man just yet. Now, the other 2 players I want to talk about, 3 players actually, Strand Larsen. Now, I really like Strand Larsen to the point where I'm thinking of bringing him in. And I don't know if I'm going to hold a transfer this game week. I'm going to bring him in and then make it a change next week in the midfield. I'm not 100% sure because I'm still a little undecided about what I really want to do in some of these places. But he has scored against Man City. He scored against Man City. He scored against Brentford. He scored his last 2. He's scored against Chelsea and he assisted against Newcastle. Just take that in for a second. He's already played Liverpool, Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Nottingham Forest. They have had the hardest run, and this bloke has been scoring. And he's 5.5 million. Imagine what he's going to do against the shit teams. He should be popping off. I mean, and look at that fixture run, man. Wolves' fixture run does not lie. This is gold, liquid gold waiting to pop off and froth over. He is going to be scoring goals. He's going to be getting assists. And at 5.5, I don't know how he hasn't risen in price already, but he's definitely got to be trending upwards because he's been delivering against the good teams, let alone the ones that aren't as good. So I'm backing him in to really pop off, as am I backing in his strike partner, Cunha. His run, exact same run. And we're talking about he has delivered in 3 of his game weeks. So he delivered against Brentford, Aston Villa, and Chelsea. So obviously he didn't do well against the really big hitters. But he's also been great value. And at 6.5, he is slightly more expensive, but he is another fantastic option. And the other one I want to talk about now, Jamie Vardy is unlucky not to make this list this week. Leicester still have a pretty good run, and I think Vardy could be involved in some goals in the next few weeks there. I'm just quickly showing his fixture run. However, he's owned by 11.2%, which is slightly too many people for my liking. I actually think that you can jump on Wissa. Now, Wissa's only owned by 2.1% of the comp. He is back from injury, and let's not forget, he started the season on fire. So the first 4 game weeks, he scored against Man City, scored against Southampton, scored against Crystal Palace. The only game he blanked at was when they played Liverpool away. And if he's back to the form that he started the season with, he's going to be a real good asset. At 5.9 mil, he's actually dropped in price as well. And again, their fixtures over the next few weeks, Ipswich at home, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home, Everton away, Leicester at home. There are some goals to be had there, some assists to be had there. That's the reason why Brian and Buemo is so popular, because Brentford's on a fantastic run of fixtures. If Wissa is involved for the full 90, he is the last differential I've got for you this week. Someone you should definitely be keeping your eye on, exceptionally low owned. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anyone that you think should have made this list. And if you've liked the video, please smash the like button. And if you are new and you've enjoyed this insight into what's going through my head, please press that subscribe button and help me out. Thanks for watching. That's D in it out with the differentials for Game Week 9.